Bitcoin price pumps to $37,000, but Bitcoin ETF token attracts $140,000 and could be the best BTC alternative. Thursday, November 9, 2023, the Bitcoin price has hit $37,000, making good on all the losses suffered since TerraUSD imploded 18 months ago. But in the know, traders think Bitcoin ETF token $BTCETF is a Bitcoin alternative with greater potential. New cryptocurrency Bitcoin ETF tokens. ICO is only days old but has pulled in $140,000 from investors because of its audacious pitch into the lucrative Bitcoin ETF theme that underpins the current crypto rally. $BTCETF is also garnering attention because of its DeFi attributes. Crypto is seeing the return of animal spirits as speculative flows come back into the market. Energizing the Bitcoin and broader crypto bull run are factors, such as the pause or possible termination of the Fed's interest rate hike cycle and the prospect of a spot Bitcoin ETF launch. Also encouraging traders to re-enter the market is the state of play in other asset classes, in particular stocks, where the rally of the past year has returned just 10%, while Bitcoin has more than doubled in price, up 127% during the same period. Indicative of the end of the so-called crypto winter is the positive funding rate in the perpetual futures market for Bitcoin and the rise in yields on offer in the decentralized finance DeFi space. Over the past few weeks, the Bitcoin perpetual futures funding rate on an open interest weighted basis is averaging levels last achieved in March this year. A positive funding rate indicates a preponderance of long positions in the market. Similarly, after lows last registered in 2021, total value locked TVL and DeFi protocols has now turned sharply higher to $44 billion, although that's still some way off the highs of 2021 when TVL reached $180 billion. M class equals align on WP image 129,886 sizeful SRC equals https://cryptonews. com/WP content /upload/2023/11/1,689,633,053 BTCETF2 PNG alt equals with equals 512 height equals 288 SRC set equals https://cryptonews. com/WP content /upload/2023/11/1,689,633,053 BTCETF2 PNG 512U https://cryptonews. com/WP content /upload/2023/11/1,689,633,053 BTCETF2 300x169 PNG 300 with sizes equals max width 512x100 W 512x/m class equals align on size full WP image 129,888 SRC equals https://cryptonews. com/WP content /upload/2023/11/1,689,633,125 BTCETF3 PNG alt equals with equals 512 height equals 164 SRC set equals https://cryptonews. com/WP content /upload/2023/11/1,689,633,125 BTCETF3 PNG 512U https://cryptonews. com/WP content /upload/2023/11/1,689,633,125 BTCETF3 300x96 PNG 300 with sizes equals max width 512x100 W 512x/Bitcoin ETF token is the smart way to play this Bitcoin ETF inspired rally and the DeFi renaissance. $BTCETF tokens can be bought in pre-sale today and staked to earn an annual percentage. Yield currently sitting at 1,584%. Nearly $19 million BTCETF tokens have already been deposited into the staking smart contract. The APY is dynamic, which means it is based on the number of tokens staked, with each individual's rewards determined by the percentage of the staking pool they hold. In order to lock in the lowest price, prospective buyers will need to move fast as the current stage ends, in less than 48 hours, after which the price rises in stage 2 of the ICO from 50 cents to 52 cents. There are 10 price stages in all, ending at a price point of 68 cents, which is 36% above the opening offer price. The Bitcoin ETF token links its valuation to the progress of the spot Bitcoin ETF U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission SEC approval process, for which a minimum 8-day window open on Thursday. For the duration of this window, the SEC has the option of moving ahead with issuing an approval order. According to Bloomberg intelligence analysts James Seyffart and Eric Balchunas, the SEC could theoretically issue approval orders. There are 12 spot Bitcoin ETFs awaiting approval. The pair also added in their note to clients that even if the 8-day window is a long shot, they hold to their previously declared position that there is still a 90% chance of approval on January 10, when the ARK21 shares Bitcoin ETF comes up for consideration. Im class equals align on size full WP image 129,889 SRC equals https://cryptonews. com/WP content /upload/2023/11/16,986,332 BTCF4 PNG alt equals width equals 512 height equals 182 SRC set equals https://cryptonews. com/WP content /upload/2023/11/16,986,332 BTCF4 PNG 512U https://cryptonews. com/WP content /upload/2023/11/16,986,332 BTCF4-300x107 PNG 300 with sizes equals max width 512x100 512x/Grayscale Bitcoin Trust conversion talks reported. It's time to position for price explosion with Bitcoin ETF token. The possibility of a spot Bitcoin ETF approval taking place before the deadline of January 10 for the ARK21 shares Bitcoin ETF was initially not seen as very likely. However, a parallel process concerning the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust's GBTC attempt to convert to an ETF has stirred the pot. The opportunity to position portfolios for the coming price explosion is narrowing as a constellation of events adds to FOMO. A report emerged in the media yesterday claiming that the SEC has opened talks with Grayscale concerning its application to convert its closed-ended trust to an open-ended ETF. The crucial difference between the two is that investors can redeem funds in an ETF without affecting the price. Closed-ended funds like the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust have a fixed number of shares that trade on the open market, and their value changes with supply and demand. Closed-ended trusts trade at a discount or premium to their net asset value. In the case of GBTC, it has moved from trading at a premium during the bull market to today trading at a discount, meaning the value of the shares is less than the value of the Bitcoin the trust holds. If GBTC is approved for conversion to an ETF, it will make redemption of shares less problematic because ETF shares can only be sold back to the issuer. Shares are created or liquidated depending on the fluctuation in demand, with the price of the ETF set at the end of each day. Another downside with GBTC is that it has to be bought in the over-the-counter market and therefore shuts out investors of modest means, limiting its buyer profile to institutions. Up until now, the product application that has been most closely watched, aside from the ARK21 shares ETF due to its front position in the queue, is the iShares Bitcoin Trust ETF, because it is issued by the world's largest asset manager, BlackRock. Im class equals align on size full WP image 129,880 SRC equals https://cryptonews. com/WP content /upload/2023/11/1,689,633,245 BTCF5 PNG alt equals width equals 512 height equals 269 SRC set equals https://cryptonews. com/WP content /upload/2023/11/1,689,633,245 BTCF5 PNG 512U https://cryptonews. com/WP content /upload/2023/11/1,689,633,245 BTCF5 300x158 PNG 300 with sizes equals max width 512x100 512x/a spot Bitcoin ETF will transform the market. Bitcoin ETF token appeals to hot money speculative traders as well as longer-term investors. Whichever spot Bitcoin ETF comes to the market first, the entry of a spot instrument will have a seismic impact on the marketplace. The US ETF market is valued at around $7 trillion, and if the impact of the introduction of a gold ETF is anything to go by, a spot Bitcoin ETF will be transformative. Retail and institutional market participants will have a regulated route to gain exposure, while the issuer of the funds will need to buy Bitcoin on the open market to hold in their funds. With only a limited number of Bitcoin in circulation and demand set to explode, there is no telling where the price could end up as the bull market gets going. Bulls are also acutely aware of the Bitcoin halving event that will take place in April next year, and how this 4-yearly reduction in the rewards paid to miners for block production has previously ushered in a rally to new highs. For all of the above reasons, it makes sense for a growing number of the most high-risk traders to leverage long positions on Bitcoin. Depositing into DeFi lending protocols in order to access leverage is the source of the rising yields now being offered in the space. In this highly positive market setup, Bitcoin ETF token staking yields make it an attractive proposition for DeFi players. Bitcoin ETF token is also a lower risk, high reward proposition, making it attractive to hot money speculative traders and longer-term investors. Instead of the source of the yields being depositors of stablecoins into lending protocols, Bitcoin ETF token simply allocates a percentage of its token supply to paying rewards, thereby reducing the risks associated with yield farming. Burn mechanism linked to real-world spot Bitcoin ETF. Events means $BTCETF holders profit directly. The story doesn't end there. Bitcoin ETF token also has a deflationary burn mechanism that is price supportive because it reduces the total token supply. Bitcoin ETF token launches with a 5% burn on all transactions. Up to 25% of the total token supply is eligible to be burned. Cleverly, the burn mechanism is tied to real-world events related to spot Bitcoin ETF news flow, where milestones such as approval and launch dates and the level of assets under management AUM trigger burn events. For example, when the trading volume of $BTCETF reaches $100 million, the transaction tax reduces from 5% to 4%. There are other clever milestones, such as when the first spot Bitcoin ETF is approved, the sales tax is reduced from 4% to 3%. BTCETF is the perfect vehicle to help you position your portfolio to profit from the spot Bitcoin ETF FOMO. Bitcoin ETF token has a total supply of 2.1 billion, 2 billion, 100 million. The project's website has a helpful newsfeed to keep you up to date with all the news related to Bitcoin ETFs and the Bitcoin price. The $BTCETF token is probably one of the smartest and cheapest ways to capture the alpha returns promised by the launch of a spot Bitcoin ETF. The token is in presale today and only costs 5 cents. There is a low hard cap total of $4,956,000 million, which is adding to the FOMO. Disclaimer: crypto is a high-risk asset class. This article is provided for informational purposes and does not constitute investment advice. You could lose all of your capital. Enter your email for our free daily newsletter or quick 3-minute read about today's crypto news. Sign up imsrc equals https://simg. co/p/ml300 jpeg alt equals image class equals imgid equals newsletter pop-up img.